Chicago to Mississippi. Let's give it up for America's #1 funny man, Rodney.
We are back. It is a Thursday. Thank you for tuning in, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or Media Room 360, streaming platform. We appreciate you. We will be going live on Instagram very soon. Buckle your seats. Or maybe you are tuned in to the podcast, the audio. You don't get to see some of the video stuff, but hey, it's a great show either way. It is your boy Rodney Perry. I'm excited about today. Coming up at the top of the hour, Charelle Thomas with the Morning Quickie. She talks all things sex. And you know we can't do without that. My co-host for today, it's the real deal, folks. I had a chance to work with this young lady in a sketch comedy film. I thought she was an actor, but I guess she is. But how about this? She's a real deal doc. Welcome to the show, Dr. Sabrina. Doc, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
You're absolutely right. That does look way better.
Way better.
Doc, let me ask you this. Are you single?
Yes, I am single and I'm ready to mingle.
Doc, I mean, how even you, and you know the inner workings of the mind, like how easy or not is it to find a great guy?
Well, it's very difficult to find a great person. I won't even say just a great guy because I have guy friends who have the same issues. And so for me, one of my challenges is because I do so much. I'm so busy. I've added actress to the list of things that I do.
Come on now.
But I've been doing clinical therapy 34 years postgraduate school this year. So
get out of here.
I've been in the game a minute. And so I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it a long time. I'm on TV here locally in Detroit every week on Fox 2 News. So people see me. People know me. People know what I'm doing. And I believe that men tend to feel she's too busy. That's the first thing I get.
But that's whack of them, am I right?
It is whack because this is the thing. I have the luxury of creating my own schedule. So because I don't have anyone that I'm dating seriously, then I feel that time with stuff to do. But if I found someone serious, I would make time. I absolutely would make time, and I would be eager to make time. One of the things that I've been saying last year, is that I really want to date someone who's incredible.
Okay, break that down. What does that mean?
Incredible means that they absolutely know who they are. They are well-read. They're well-traveled. They are open to new opportunities. Because my thing is, if you stay stuck in your ways, how do you learn something new?
Hold on, Doc. Give it to me. You know, Steve Harvey had a concept a couple of years back. He said that he wanted women to wait 90 days before they had sex with a guy. Do you subscribe to that idea?
No, I don't.
Doc says she's giving that thing up.
No, I don't. But let me tell you why. Because at 57, I just turned 57 on January the 19th.
Happy birthday. That was my mommy's birthday.
Hey, mommy.
That was my mother's birthday, January 19th.
I believe that people have, it depends on the person. Because if you connect with the person that God really has for you, in 2 weeks, you might be like, oh, I gotta touch him.
Come on now.
And then just sitting on my hands, waiting for 90 days because someone outside of our relationships has deemed that that's what they're supposed to do. I don't agree with that. I believe that you have to do what's going to work with you and that person. And you two have to agree on that. The problem is that most people don't spend the time agreeing because
Wow,
the
how about
Bible
that?
tells us that how do two walk together unless they agree? You
Wow.
have to have agreement with that person. So the agreement that I had with the last person, I can't expect that with the new person. And that's what we do. We expect someone to be one, what we are, and that's not fair because people aren't you. They don't have your experiences. They
aren't you.
They aren't you.
Wow. Okay. Dr. Sabrina is with us today. We'll be rocking with her all day. I see the Gospel and Heifers is in the building. They said, "Oh, you go, girl." Okay. Marie Jones, thank you for tuning in. And in the queue, it does my heart good when I see this lady on the show. Although she gives me reason for pause.
Uh-oh.
No. It's not a bad thing. You just don't know what she's gonna say.
Oh, I love it. I love her already.
You're gonna love her more than that in a few seconds. She got some sort of head wrap on. She looked like some type of soothsayer. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, welcome to the show, One Act Drama. How are you, Miss Andromeda?
Amazing, Uncle Rodney. How are you?
Wonderful. One Act Drama Doc is one of these ladies. She went on a celibacy journey. She has returned to the penis, and but she's on the journey of finding a great guy. And so I want her to come on and to benefit from your talk. What is clinical therapy? What does that mean? Because and before you answer, there's a push toward mental health now that we haven't seen, especially as Black people. You've been in this field for a long time. You've seen people lean toward more mental health now. Is that a good thing?
It's an absolutely amazing thing. People need to really understand that when God created us, He didn't create us just as a physical being. All of those things work together. And so your emotions, your mental, all of that is important. And so it is important that we understand that you can have Jesus and have a therapist.
Won't he do it? Let me ask you this, sis. As a man, my daughters deal with anxiety. I feel, and I know I'm wrong for this probably, that as a man, I don't have the luxury of being out of sorts. I don't have the luxury of allowing anxiety to paralyze me. Am I tripping?
Yeah, you tripping because there are some men who do have anxiety issues. And then when men have mental challenges, what they tend to do is become aggressive. They will begin to fight. They will begin to become argumentative. And so that's still a mental challenge.
I mean, granted, but don't we all have to deal with it? We deal with those stressors differently.
Absolutely, we deal with those stressors differently. But most times, we don't know how to deal with them. We don't even know how to recognize that that's where the stressor is coming from or what it's connected to. So that's the benefit of having a therapist, is to help you unpack and put things in its proper perspective and give you tips, tools, and strategies on how to deal effectively with it. Not just how to deal with it, but deal effectively with it so that it's not paralyzing you. It's not terrorizing your loved ones. It's not making you not effective at work. All of those things.
Wow. One Act Drama's in the building. Please, Drama. I know you one of the people that's been, you don't look like what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? And it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. What you got for the doc?
I would just like to say, I would like to remove the mindset of something that you said. You said the luxury of mental health. Mental health is not a luxury, it's a necessity. I think as a community, we view it as something that I can't afford to do that right now. Well, you can't afford to not do it. Because it don't just affect you, it affects me as the woman in your life. It affects your children. Even though you may feel like everybody okay, sometimes people walking around on their toes trying not to tick you off. So it's not a luxury. That's a necessity. So we need to stop thinking of it as something that is extra and think of it as something, because it is a part of us. It's not even to be thought of.
No. And you make a great point, Drama. And only thing I'll push back a little bit on, I didn't say mental health, the luxury of mental health. I said the luxury of being out of sorts. Like
that's your mental health.
No. What I mean when I say being out of sorts, as a man, as the leader of this home, I don't get to be flustered. I gotta have my shit together.
Who told you that?
all my people looking at me
Who told you
as
that?
the leader. How
Who
can
told
I lead? How
Who
can
told
I
you you can't?
lead?
Who told you that?
I made it up. How
Okay.
can I lead?
You told you that. Nobody in your house said, Daddy, you can't have a moment to cry real quick. Nobody told you that.
No, first of all, I'm a crier.
Oh,
everybody know.
Nobody told you
cry.
to take a break. You said that. You
I take breaks. I take breaks. I think I'm pretty healthy mentally.
Well, I don't mean you specific, but just men in general.
No,
like,
I'm talking about me. I can't speak to everybody else.
Well, I'm just saying men, period, though. Y'all take it on as I can't, but nobody told you can't. You decided that. Because as someone who's married, my ex-husband used to say the same thing. I can't. I never told you that. You made that decision. So you are stressing you out.
Women say that. Women say that until they see your ass weeping over in the corner, and they be like, "You this little crybaby ass nigga. If you don't get your ass out of here."
Well, why
you didn't say it, but you said it.
Don't be with her then, because I'm never gonna. If a man cry, I'm finna sit next to him and cry too, because that hurt my heart. So I don't have a problem with a man crying.
If it's a noise in the basement and he start crying, get rid of him.
Oh, now if you cry over the noise in the basement, because you supposed to go check that out.
I'm telling y'all, the thing that makes a man toxic and out of control also makes him go toward that noise.
No, that's what men do.
Okay, so let me help you.
Go ahead, Doc. Get to it.
Let me help you with this one, because there are some men who aren't. There are some women who are wired that way, and so we get so stuck in gender roles that we don't allow people to just be themselves.
Okay, that's a good point, Doc. How about this? Do gender roles work? Like, let me tell you something. If you're a woman and you pumping your own gas and take your own trash out, you don't have no man. True?
No. That's not true.
Doc,
that's not true.
You're not being honest with me, Doc.
That's not true. Let me
Doc,
tell
you're
you
not
why.
being honest with me.
I'm being 110% honest with you, because sometimes in the relationship, depending what's going on in the relationship, he may not be able to take out the garbage. So I'll take out the garbage. Okay.
All right. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll say, Doc, that's fair.
One of the things that we do is
if he right here, then yes.
No, not even that. Not even that. But sometimes people may be struggling with something. I'll give you an example. When I was married, my then husband's father was murdered. When his father was murdered, it knocked him off his. It was a hell to pay up in here.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot, and it was a lot emotionally. So emotionally and physically, I had to step up in some areas. Because I was supporting.
Doc, give it to me right now. How many trashes you take out before you go? All right, now. You got to figure this out. I love you.
I love you, but I need you to take the garbage out now.
Get your ass up.
I need to take the garbage out now. I need to take garbage out. But
my car had no gas in it in 3 weeks.
But this is the thing. I think that with people, the thing we don't do is communicate.
Wow.
That is one of the number one things. I say there's 4 C's to a successful relationship, a long term. The first C is crave. I gotta want you.
I like that. Right, let me write that down. Crave.
Oh yeah, that equals passion. I gotta look at you and go, ooh, come here. I gotta have that. I gotta have it.
Crave
the second is connection. We have to have a connection. I get you. You get me. What I laugh at, you laugh at. We start singing the same song. We have to have some type of connection. The issue is that people can be connected and not have crave. And you can have crave and not have connection. You absolutely need both.
Okay.
The third
is
communication. And communication is huge, because communication is not just what I'm saying, but it's what I'm hearing. Am I a good listener?
Everything. Communication, body language, everything.
Everything, all that. And then the last is commitment.
Before you hold on, go. Let's not bring commitment out yet. Let's talk about communication.
Okay.
Because my women, in my world, in my opinion, my humble one-man opinion, women don't want to talk to you till you're doing something.
What do you mean?
I mean, if I'm doing something else, that's when my wife want to have a full-blown fucking.
I need to talk to you. We need to talk.
I can't even hear you because I'm doing something else.
Because I'm doing something. I agree. But again, I agree that women do that. I think there's men do that too. I have men that I've dated and I'm in the middle of getting ready to get on stage. I'm on my way to be on stage to speak, and it's 20,000 people in the room, and you text me and say, I called you 6 times. What?
Dog, I gotta go.
I can't. The last thing I need to be thinking about right now is that I ain't call you back because you called me 6. And I'm finna. So my thing is, if you're the supporter of me and my world, and I'm supporter of you and your world, when you about to put your game on, I need to be supportive. I need to
feel that. I need to know that.
I need to know that. Let me tell you, baby, you finna go out there and rock this shit. That's what I need. Wow. Well, I done prayed you up. You ain't calling me back. That seems a little selfish.
Look, I told my wife the other day, and I would love for her to watch the show. She ain't got time. But anyway. I said, you be mad so much that when you really got a reason to be mad, it don't matter. Like even with your children, if you live in a perpetual state of crazy, then when it's time to be crazy, it's like, oh, daddy just tripping again. But don't get me started. Let's put this conversation on hold. Doc done unpacked it. She gave us crave, connection, communication, and commitment. Well said. All right. I love that.
Can I add one thing to commitment?
Come on now.
That commitment is between you and that person.
That's the one.
You can't expect somebody to have the idea of commitment that don't match your idea of commitment. And you can't force somebody to try and commit to what you grew up in. What commitment looked like in my house may not be what commitment looked like in your house.
Gets you back to communication. You got to have that conversation on what that commitment is for you.
And can I lead? And the foundation to all of this is agreement. It's agreement. You cannot have a relationship unless you have agreement.
Wow.
And oftentimes people don't have agreement because they haven't even talked about it. What does it mean to be to be dating? What does it mean to be exclusive? What does it mean to be married? You see, I put those in 3 different categories. Some people, I've heard people say, "Oh, we've had sex, now we go together." No. Mm-mm. First of all, I'm 57. I don't go together with nobody. I'm not 17. And people are still using that terminology. Oh, we go together now. No. We big old grown people. So we have to move into the mature status. And how do you be mature? Without agreement and communication.
Wow. Hey, y'all, this is Rodney Perry. You're tuning in to Rodney Perry Live today. Dr. Sabrina, clinical therapist, one-act drama, comedian, actor, mommy,
I'm
baby mama. She does it all.
Mama.
Don't do that. You're a baby mama.
I'm an ex-wife.
I'm an ex-wife.
That's fair.
I'm an ex-wife.
Actually, I prefer baby mama. I don't want to be his ex-wife.
It's too late. You said it.
It's too late. But I got one for you. You have a husband.
Ooh, what?
He was your husband.
Trina Pinkert is in the building.
Me too.
Great freaking topic for Thursday. We do have the morning quickie coming in the next hour. Let's get into some of these hot topics, y'all. DC Metro gunman. Did y'all hear about this? In Washington, D.C., a guy on the train, people going to work, unleashed many shots, and a guy tried to subdue him, and he ended up shooting him as well. It's another incident of these mass shootings. This time, not at the school, on public transportation. I mean, people just trying to get to work, man.
Yeah.
Can I speak to the mass shooter population for just a moment?
Please.
Kill yourself. Leave us alone. carry your tail in your room and off yourself in whatever manner you see fit. Leave us alone. Or go to therapy. Talk to somebody. If you talk to somebody and you still want to hurt people, kill yourself.
Doc, I don't know if we can be any more eloquent than one act drama in that one. But when you see these stories and they're unpacking themselves, there's always some sort of mental illness. Am I right?
Absolutely. And people don't want to say that. People want to say, well, they knew what they were doing. And people think that if you have a mental illness, it means you don't know the difference between right and wrong. And that is not the case. You absolutely can know the difference between right and wrong and still be mentally ill or mentally challenged or have a mental break. Sometimes things will push us past our threshold. And when we get past our threshold, that's when we begin to do things that are either homicidal, suicidal, or a danger to property. Because if you didn't know that, those are the 3 criteria for a person being hospitalized. So if a person is homicidal, that means they're saying they want to hurt somebody. If they are suicidal, if they're saying they want to kill themselves, or they're damaging property. So that's a biggie, because in our community, we'll break the windows out his car. But if you get the breaking windows out the car, they can come take you and put you on a 72-hour hold.
Oh, guess what? And I'm pressing charges. Your ass is going to jail. All right, up next, DJ Mustard, big time DJ Mustard on track. He was in the news last week. His girl, they separated. His girl got a forensic accountant. Turns out he made $10 million in 2020. She was asking at that point for like $80,000 a month. Okay. My mama used to always say, well, you lay with her. Shut up. They just reached some sort of conclusion. Well, it's not a conclusion. He agreed, DJ Mustard agrees to a temporary a payment of $19,000 a month. Just, until they settle the whole thing. Man, child support is a lot, huh, Doc?
Well, let me say this, because I hear people talk about how women are chasing men with money. Do you know, in our communities these days, women have a lot of money too. And they're men that's trying to be on the come up with them. They trying to get in your pockets. Sure. They hiring for forensic, people to check your finances. People asking, what's your credit score? But if you are married.
Is that, Doc, you single? That's something you got to think about?
Oh my God, do I think about it? Let me tell you, the first question that turns me all the way off is, do I live alone? Why the hell you want to know, do I live alone?
Because that nigga about to move in.
Because you're not coming here.
Oh, you better scoot over, Doc. I'm staying. I'm bringing my night bag.
You're not coming
first night, and you ain't going to never get rid. I'm going to be getting mail at your house before you know it.
Let me tell you why you're not going to get no mail at my house. Because your license is public information. Did you know that? People can look up and find your address based on your license because that's public information. Well, my license don't have my actual living address on it.
Wow.
Because I'm a public figure. I don't want you walking up on me. I don't want you knowing where I live. And I've had a stalker before because I've been in media for a long time. So no. And you don't ask me, do I live alone? And when people ask me, I always say, oh, no, I don't live alone. And in my head, I'm going, because the Holy Spirit lives with me.
Come on now. Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Yeah.
All right.
But no.
Speaking of mental illness drama.
Uh-oh.
R. Kelly, Cook County.
Drop the charges.
Dropped the sexual abuse charges in Chicago. R. Kelly's abuser said that she was denied justice. One outcome in New York, a different outcome in Chicago. Does he have favor in Chicago? Drama, do you think?
Absolutely. People in Chicago love that man. Can do no wrong. Everybody got a I was there story for R. Kelly in Chicago. There is a nostalgia around, and I get it.
Well, I don't know if it's a nostalgia. let me jump in there, drummer. I'm from Chicago, and I will say this: the behavior we seen displayed in R. Kelly was very commonplace in my city. It was nothing to be in 5th, 6th, 7th grade and a grown man be picking up a girl from school. And it wasn't her dad. It wasn't her
uncle or brother.
5th grade. Now, when I was in high school, we had grown men lined up in all the dope.
I went to school with this girl named Mary. In 5th grade, 12 or 13 years old, she had full breasts, big old booty. Guess what? The guy might not have been grown, but he was a cool 16 or 17. Easily. So not to exonerate R. Kelly, but Doc, when you start thinking about a guy that displays this type of behavior, he has to be mentally off key.
That the first thing that people have to understand is that people do to other people what was done to them, especially as a young person.
Hurt people.
Hurt people. But then also the fact of money makes you more of who you are. And it gives you the opportunity to do things that without money you would not be able to do.
Ooh,
because I know what I'm doing when I get some money.
So
Doc,
I remember.
Doc, let me jump in there with you, Doc, because I think that as a culture, black, white, or other in this country, we glorify some people.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you where I'm going with this. Don Magic Wand, Cat Williams. It's okay to be a pimp. But guess what pimps do? Pimps keep women, despite their will. You understand? Pimps, like you have to have a mind control over a person to even talk to a woman with rhymes and shit.
Goldie had the flyers hook up. He would take them to the place where they could look at the stars.
The planetarium.
Let me let you look at this. I'm gonna take you to the stars. So that's a skill set that I say it's about drug dealers, all of this. If they use those skills in the world for good, they would still be wealthy.
Wow.
I couldn't be a hoe. I don't like nobody soft talking me.
Soft talking?
Yes,
what is soft talking, drama?
When they be like, baby, so what I need you to do for me, baby?
Shut
your ass up and talk to me like a man. Don't soft talk me.
They gonna talk to you whatever you need, though. If you need a rough talk, he'll talk to you. He is an expert in his field.
And if you need intellectual conversation, he's read. He's well read. So yeah, he's gonna go with you there. He's gonna be able to tantalize your intellect.
See, I got too many rules to hold. My pimp gonna beat me because I got too many rules to my hoeing. Well, you're
gonna definitely take a punch in the mouth for sure. Listen to me, ladies. We have made the pimp world so acceptable that an R. Kelly can thrive because he's basically displaying pimp
characteristics.
Thank you for that word. My brain was about to explode. Pimp characteristic. So, all right, guys. Matt Barnes is in the news. He's got a new girlfriend. Matt Barnes, NBA star. He had a altercation a few years back with what's his name? Another one of the Lakers.
The bald head, the long face.
Anyway,
I know you're talking about.
He had an altercation with that young man.
Kenny?
Huh?
Is his name Kenny? No, that ain't him.
No, not Kenny.
I can't remember his name.
Anyway, now the baby father of the girl he's with has been threatening their life. It seems like when you're that dude, you will that dude into your life. Doc, am I right?
Absolutely. You draw to you what's in you.
Wow.
And let me tell you a simple example. I am generally an upbeat, enthusiastic, talk to everybody type of person. Mm-hmm. I have been in line at the store and the cashier was going off on the person, two people in front of me, nasty, mean. And when I come up, they're pleasant. It's, do you have any coupons? Oh, let me ring some coupons for you. They are kind to me. I leave, and then they mean to the next person. I've seen that because I draw to me what's in me. Mm-hmm. So whenever somebody is funky towards me, I check me first because I'm like, something might be going on with me today that I'm drawing this energy in my space.
Wow. Hey, y'all, my name is Rodney Perry. Tune in to Rodney Perry Live. One Act Drama's in the building today. Dr. Sabrina, clinical psychiatrist, in the building. I cannot thank you enough for coming on, Doc. All right. We're going to take a break. We come back. More to the show. Let's see. We got the morning quickie coming in the next half hour. Oh, my God. We're talking about sex with it. You know,
my favorite subject. Oh, my.
But, you know, and Drama and Charelle, they get together. It's just, it's incredible. All right, here we go. The name of the show is Rodney Perry Live. Let's go. We'll be right back.
What up, y'all? It's Michael Sean, and I know you want to be a podcaster. You want a successful podcast. You want to give your views and opinions, but you just don't know how to do it correctly. That's why you got to hit up ShawneeScott.com. You want to be on radio, and you want to know how to build your radio career. ShawneeScott.com. She's done all of this. I've worked alongside her for years, and I will tell you the information that she can give you is on a value level that I can't even put a price on it. All you have to do is go to ShawneeScott.com. Your future, right now. That's it. Michael Sean. Yeah.
Hey, you heard the man. My name is Rodney Perry. You tune in to Rodney Perry Live. That's my brother, Michael Sean. You can catch him every day right here on Media Room 360, where he puts up his morning show every morning. We have moved our time. Drama, what do you think of the new time? 10 a.m.
It works so much better where these kids ain't at school because ice outside. But when I ain't got to rush. I don't get home till like 8:10. So I be trying to hurry up.
It took the rush out of my life too. Because I was rushing. I dropped my daughter off at school. And she always late. So I'm really, Doc, talk to me about doing things to make your life easier.
Ooh, the first thing, you have to think positive. That's the first thing. If you spend all of your time focusing all the things
Doc, let me stop you. Because that's hard for me and this lady. We both Virgos, and we will damn sure look at the glass half empty. Just in our mind, just trying to keep it real.
Let me say this, but you control what you think.
You control, you know what I changed? I got some t-shirts, and the name on the t-shirt I put Dream Bigger, because you have to have an unreasonable belief in yourself. Kanye West is a billionaire because he had an unreasonable belief in himself being successful. And in my mind, I'm always trying to keep it real. Like, yo, man, you ain't really the best in the world, but why not?
Can I share something with you?
Please.
This is my favorite thing. And I'm a Bible girl. I tell people all the time I'm a Bible girl, so I like scripture. But there's a scripture that says God will do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you can ask or think. So my thing is, if he is going to blow his super on my natural, let me give him something naturally to blow on. So I think big. And I always say this, I want to walk in, it don't make no sense kind of blessing. It just don't make no sense that this happened to me. It don't make no sense that I'm in a sketch comedy. Really? Because he heard me on the Michael Collier show. And he heard me and Michael just chopping it up. And he says, oh my God, this girl is funny. And the next is him. Go ahead.
Go ahead, drummer.
As another Virgo in the glass half empty. So I'm not so much a glass half empty thinker, but I would like to speak to mothers as a mother. So I used to get so frustrated when my son's father he just canceled a visit last week, when he would not show up. And I would get so mad. But 2 years ago, I said to myself, why do you stress yourself out about what you know is probably going to come? So instead, what I started doing was planning my life as if he ain't going to show up. Instead of planning my life like I know he coming, I was letting myself down. So I would say to myself, don't let yourself down. Live your life the way it works for you. And if he show up, great. Now you can do whatever you had planned on doing in peace. So I decided to make my life accommodating for myself instead of accommodating for him, because when you try to accommodate other people and you don't went out your way and they tick you off, you ticked you off. They didn't. You set an expectation for somebody else instead of an expectation for you.
For yourself.
So for mothers, set the expectation for you. I have had so much peace this last 2 years when I decided.
And know what you can control. You can't control what he's doing, but you control what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And people be like, why you just so, you act like parenting is so easy. I made it easy for me. I don't allow anybody to disrupt what's in here. You can be a part of it, but you can't disrupt it.
Shouts out to LeBaron Burton. He said it is safe to say that Bill Cosby and R. Kelly are guilty of what was culturally acceptable at that time. I'm not speaking of black culture. I'm speaking of American culture. But, okay. I don't think Bill Cosby is the same animal as R. Kelly.
Me either.
I don't either. But an animal nonetheless.
Oh, I was just gonna say
is that true though? I mean, I talked to my mom about this, right? She said, Rodney, I was a young person in that era, and the Quaaludes were a commonplace thing. You wasn't partying without that. Cocaine was prevalent. It wasn't until they began to freebase cocaine and turn it into crack that it became a problem. People was getting high. Weed was prevalent. So do I demonize a guy 60 years later for what was commonplace at the time? Doc, am I crazy?
Well, let me ask this question, because I promise you I really don't, because I'm not a drug person at all. But didn't he like drug people without their knowledge?
The drugs were there.
But just because, like, if I go to a place right now, if I go someplace right now, if I'm at a party and there's drugs at the party,
there's a bowl of Quaaludes.
I'm not going over to the bowl because I don't do drugs. But if someone else in the party decide, oh, I like her, I'm gonna get her.
But this is the question, Doc. 20 years later, you were at that party. And I'm not saying you did the drugs at all, but the fact that you were there affect the whole situation. No. I don't know.
No. Let me tell you why it's a no. Let me tell you why it's a no.
I wish my buddy was on here. He interviewed Dr. Cosby.
Okay.
And I'm not by no means exonerating the guy, but he went to court. He had his day in court, and he was erroneously put in jail, and then he's free.
Oh yeah, he's free. And he said, did I hear he's going on the road?
Hey, he got to eat. He's still a billionaire.
Oh yeah, he still got some money.
Candy Kisses TV says, wrong is wrong, but let's be clear. Back in the day, people were getting married at 13 years old. Okay.
People get married at 13
was
now.
That okay? No one speaks on how nasty that is. Well, yeah, you got a point.
Okay, so I'm gonna
stop right there. My girl Coco Fresh is in the building. She will be on tomorrow.
Hey.
Yes, there was a lot of R. Kelly-like relationships growing up, especially in the 80s and 90s. Young girls with grown men in their 20s. Wow, guys.
And older than that, because like I say, I'm a therapist. I've been a therapist a long time, and so I had a client who was 12.
No.
12 and liked screwing. She liked it. She sought out men.
Wow.
And her girlfriend came to see me for
therapy. I venture to say she was probably exposed sexually before she started liking
Absolutely, sex. She was exposed to it early. But by this time, she out there. And she had a boyfriend that was 31.
She had a child molesting pedophile.
Exactly, that's what that was.
Her boyfriend.
But in her mind, he was her boyfriend. So indeed. I was working with another therapist who I was training at the time, and the therapist, this is how I found out about it, is that she says, I can't tell because she told me in confidence. No, boo-boo, you have a responsibility with your license to tell.
And how about this, Doc? How about this? And also drama. So my biological father was much older than my mother. She's a teenager when they begin what their relationship was. My mother always characterized their relationship as a love story until maybe about 2 years before she passed. We were watching the Me Too coverage on TV or CNN, and she said, "You know what? He was wrong. He was wrong because he was grown." You know, and yes, I was fast and hot to trot, but that grown-ass man that chose to carry on a relationship with a teenage girl was wrong.
Can we would it be a safe argument to say that, I didn't live back then, so I don't know, but would it be a safe argument to say because in the earlier days, people were getting married at such a young age that as unmasked, it wasn't viewed as wrong, so he didn't have the wherewithal to think it was wrong back then?
Well, it depends the era.
Well,
it depends on the era.
It was viewed as wrong.
Well, let me say this.
Or cultural.
Culturally and legally are two different things.
Wow.
Legally, at 13, in our society, you still have to get a parent's approval to get married.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of times in different cultures, they will have where this person, you know, could get married early and the father or the family signs off
you
on
will give them away. You'll give the daughter
you're
away.
giving them away. So that's one mindset. But then to actively go and date somebody who you know is that much younger than you, that's a whole different mindset.
But every decade presents a different set of problems. Like
absolutely,
was it back then thought of how it is now?
Well, it depends what back then. What back then we talking about? If we talking about the 70s, no. If we talking about the 60s, no. If we talking about the 50s, yes.
Yeah.
We talking about the 40s, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So it you know, and this is within 100 years of our culture. So it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. And wow.
But can I add this? Let me add this caveat.
Please.
It's because our mindset is one way for girls and totally different for boys. Because I know boys who have had relationships with much older women as a teenager, and they feel like, oh, I hit the lottery. This was the greatest thing ever.
You're right. You're right. I got a good buddy of mine, and he told me, say, dude, he said, I didn't think about this till recently, because he like you said, he thought he hit the lottery. But the older woman that
was wrong,
functionally molested him, opened him up sexually for many years to come. It's stuff that was on his plate that shouldn't have been on his plate. You know, so by 17 or 18, I mean, even now, a married man, he have a hard time having sex with one woman. Wow.
It's
Mama
a lot.
Mrs. in the building, Sandra Biggs, she says in the 70s, back in the day, didn't speak on it. Candy Kitty says, wow. All right. Hey, great show today. We really unpacking some good stuff. One Act Drama's in the building with a little headband.
It's Black History Month. Hit y'all with a little Kente from the motherland.
That's Kente. And
not ain't real. It's fake Kente, but it's, you know.
Dr. Sabrina, clinical therapist. How about this? This is my glass half full story of the day.
Oh, good. Lovely.
Flavor Flav says he spent $2,600 a day on a drug habit.
Wow.
You saying, how was that glass half full? Well, I didn't know Flavor Flav had $2,600 a day.
I didn't know he had a drug problem.
Oh, that way that man act, it's something.
I just thought he was just different.
Yo.
But there are people who are different that don't have a drug problem. They're just different.
We just talked about this last night, how boys are taken advantage of by older women, aka babysitters. That is true. My babysitter person didn't give me none, for the record, and I was all for it. Anyway,
I'm trying to think. I remember. Do you remember this movie called Americans? It was with Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey was
Well, they
a
said
dad.
Kevin Spacey was abusing boys left and right.
Yeah. But this movie, he was the father of a teenage daughter.
Yes.
And the teenage daughter, that movie won an Academy Award.
It sure did.
And I remember when the guys who made it came up to get their award, they said when they first start of the storyline, they were like, well, will people accept this? And then he said, but men, we've all been there. And they panned the audience and all the men were going, oh yeah. It made me sick to my stomach. I remember it vividly.
Look at this. LeBaron Burton says, my virginity was taken by my friend's mother.
Wow.
OMG, man. OM freaking G. What must that do to a boy?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And I think that we don't really talk to our boys about protecting their, I'm going to say this word, dignity. Not just your dignity, but just like I shouldn't want anybody just putting, everybody can't have this. This is a precious jewel. Well, yours is a precious jewel too. You should not be putting it everywhere. Because just because something look good don't mean it is good. Don't mean it ain't tainted. Don't mean you can't lay down and wake up with something. We don't teach our boys the same thing we teach our girls.
Wow, Mama Miss said, yeah, my cousin's dad was my grandmother's friend. So it's questionable if my grandmother set my aunt up. I mean, we see that in the story with Anime Bullock, Tina Turner, the woman that will become Tina Turner. They gave her to Ike Turner.
Yes, they did. And that mama got money the whole time. He kept giving that mama money.
Wow.
And some of that is true for the R. Kelly situation.
Wow, that is very, very factual.
Yeah.
It was a lot of women in Chicago. That was a jackpot. Hey, the Fresh Tarot is in the building. Coco Fresh, she will be on the show tomorrow. They are not called pimps anymore. They're called managers. Wow. They make women think they need management over themselves. Wow, how about that? Let me tell you something. I blame the parents in the R. Kelly world. I blame a lot of parents. You know, you can't, let me tell you what you can't keep me out of. A house with my daughter in it.
Listen. You can't keep me out of a car or a plane or nothing when it comes to my kids.
My children. I've known parents, a mother, to pick up a car to get the car. The child was run over. Mm-hmm. And they would literally, because of the adrenaline, pick up the car and get the child out. Because when you are in that space about your kids.
Wow. Cosman ever said the movie was American Beauty. I remember that vividly.
Yes.
American Beauty. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, it really goes. It was really gross American something on another. Oh, goodness gracious. They say you go right on point, Doc. And Rodney ain't going. That's right. All right. Here goes. Angela Bassett recently immortalized in Madame Tussauds Wax Museum.
Oh, nice.
Wait, does it look like her? Because they be playing in people's faces.
It looks just like her. It looks.
Oh my God.
Do I have it here?
That's so good.
Playing in people's faces and it be making me
mad. This one looks a lot like her. And God dang it, I don't see it. It looks beautiful. And she says it had like a fat booty like hers too. I don't know if y'all know this, but Angela Bassett.
Fine.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. She looks amazing.
And like she like 56 or something like that.
She what?
Ain't she like 56?
No, she's older than that. She
might be 60.
She's 60 or 61 now. I think she turned 60 last year.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Women just be out
here. Hey, Tiffany Haddish is taking flack. The executive producer said that she is going to be in Girls Trip 2. The internet is trolling her after the whole thing earlier last year about the whole thing that she went through. That thing is behind her.
This is the thing I hate. We give people who do horrifying things a pass.
Yes.
Because they make music.
But then the people who made a mistake, cleaned up the mistake, served their time, all of that. Let me give you an example. Here in Detroit, our former mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, a lot of people
Kwame ain't
know
no
him.
joke.
He went to prison. He's out of prison now. So I'm
He's out of
involved in
Florida,
an
yeah.
event. I'm involved in an event, and they're going to have a day where they celebrate all the former mayors. So in the meeting, the question was, do we include Kwame? I said, is he a former mayor? They said, yeah. Well, people might boo him. I said, if you're gonna call it the former mayors of Detroit, he gotta come.
He gotta come. I agree.
You gotta invite him.
I agree.
Because he served his time.
I killed a baby or something.
He done served his time. He served his time.
I don't know. You kill a baby or you an old lady, you don't need to go. You do something heinous, you stay home with your hands.
Here, Covington, what's up? Thank you for tuning in today. The name of the show is Rodney Perry Live. I'm Rodney Perry. That young lady is One Act Drama. And at the bottom of the screen, OMG, show some love for Dr. Sabrina. All right, Doc. We talked about this before we came on the air. Tyree Nichols. A lot of stuff is being unpacked. For anybody that don't know about the story, he was brutalized by up to five cops in Memphis. And Al Sharpton spoke on this as well. Al Sharpton said, look, dog, don't let the rumors deter the fact that the police were involved in this. So apparently, Doc, well, you unpack it for us.
Well, one of the things that when it first happened, everybody kept saying, what was the reason behind such a brutal attack? What did he do? He didn't have a gun. He didn't attack them. He wasn't running from a crime scene. Why did you have to pull him over and yank him out the car the way that you did? And so later it came out that one of the officers of the 5 knew him. And the story is that he was the current love interest of this officer's baby's mama.
Wow.
And so, how folk are about their babies. And, I know men who say, I don't want no man over my kids. Well, you left.
Stay home then, dog. Stay home.
It didn't work. And so you're not going to paralyze me and keep me in jail from living my life because you don't want nobody around your child. People don't know how to blend families. Blended families happen every 6 minutes in this country.
Wow. Hey, it's Rodney Perry. You're tuning in to Rodney Perry Live. Such an interesting story. I really been kind of staying away from it, but man.
I was just going to say, Uncle Rodney, I have, for my mental health, since I mistakenly watched the Philando Castile.
Yeah.
That broke something in me that I have not been able to repair. So when these stories come out, I know everybody be like, you need to pay it. For me, I can't pay attention. So if I hear something, it's like on something like this, I'm not watching the video. I don't follow the story. I don't want to know the details. I just want to know guilty or not guilty. Skip me to the end. So I don't know details. I don't engage because for it that hurt.
It's painful.
That broke me. So I can't do it.
Well, that's something that's called secondhand trauma. What you're describing is secondhand trauma. And secondhand trauma is when you're indirectly impacted by a traumatizing, tragic event. And all of us are receiving secondhand trauma. We are, because we see it on the news, we hear it, it's on social media, all of that. And many people don't know how to deal with what you said is something broke in me that I haven't been able to fix. And so one of the things that I've been spending time on with the George Floyd, with all of these things, is I spend time talking about what trauma is, what things happen to us when we're traumatized, how it shows up for us, and then what things can we do to help us through the trauma. Because I think that we need to be solution-based and not just talking. We need to be able to own our feelings. So I appreciate the fact that you said that something in me broke. Wow. You got to own it, because you can't heal from a thing until you're real about a thing. So you got to shine a light on what's going on for you. Secondly, you have to be gentle with yourself. You have to step back. So that decision to not watch it was being careful with yourself. You have a right to be kind to yourself.
I need you to come on every week, because I definitely need some mental health help, and these people do.
I will come on every week for you, Rodney. Absolutely.
I love it 1,000 times. Beyonce, going on tour. It's called the Renaissance Tour.
Yeah, she's
everybody
coming
tell
here.
me that seeing Beyonce live that this is the best concert bar none.
I've been every time. I've seen her every time since Destiny's Child, Destiny's Fulfilled. I went to that concert, the very last one they did, and I've seen Beyonce every time, including when she bought her large-headed husband Jay-Z with her.
Did you call him the large-headed husband?
Yes, I even went to see that, and it was amazing. Beyonce, and I'm fully prepared. I have already decided. As long as it ain't above $1,000, I'm paying it. Beyonce.
Well, what if it's $1,001?
I'm gonna get $1 from somebody.
I'm gonna get $1 from somebody. I feel you. She's gonna get $1 from somebody.
Now, you know, a good concert is usually like a once in a lifetime. So you have been to like $500, $600, $800 is not too much.
Listen, I paid.
Do you get friends to go with you? Do you have
I paid $400 for that ticket. The last
was it a good seat?
It was straight. It wasn't high. Yeah. I'm not sitting up here. That's why I say I'm willing to go 1,000 if I'm not sitting up here. Cause I need at least Beyonce need to be able to breathe and give me a little bit of COVID from where I'm sitting.
The best concert I ever attended was a Stevie Wonder concert.
You know what? Somebody, I was on his Instagram this morning, and Sounds in the Key of Life, they say, is the best album of all time.
Let me tell you something. I'm from Detroit. And so when I was in high school, my last year of high school, I went to a high school called Cass Tech. Hey, CT.
Is that east side or west side?
That's downtown. So it's in the middle. It's downtown. Okay. It's downtown. It's in the middle. But he came to our high school and performed a concert for all the seniors as a surprise. We didn't know he was coming.
Wow.
We went into the auditorium.
Was this little Stevie Wonder or was he a grown man?
He was a grown man. I'm not that old. Dang, really?
I just out there. You're right. You 57. Ain't no way you saw little Stevie Wonder.
Wow.
Don't do that.
But it was amazing. And so that concert was amazing. But when I was grown, we used to have a place here called Joe Louis Arena. And they've torn it down since. But the last concert they had there, big concert, was a Stevie Wonder concert. It was amazing. And the one thing that I said, I looked around at the audience and it was Asians, Hispanics, Arabic people, Black people, and everybody were singing. They were laughing. I said, this must be how the Holy Spirit feels, because everybody was on one accord.
You know who concert I went to by accident on purpose?
Who?
Diana Ross.
Woo!
Right before the pandemic. I never knew I wanted to see Diana Ross. The Gayborhood, which is the gay neighborhood here, was having a pop-up. Literally, like the morning of the concert was like, hey, she here. If you want a ticket, email this email address and you get 2 free tickets. So I was like, hey, what's the odds? I'm gonna try.
So I'm gonna get it.
I got the tickets. I went in thinking, all right, Diana, cool. Amazing.
Really?
But let me say this.
It was her, Kiki Wyatt, and Tiana Taylor.
Oh my God.
Kiki Wyatt can sing too.
Oh my God, Kiki can sing.
I've worked with her before, but
Kiki can sing.
Diana, like I expected this little old lady. You know, she's older now, so I was like, oh, she's probably gonna baby. Diana was, and them gay people was losing their mind.
Every Woman is a big gay hit.
Yes.
They was losing it. And
yes. But let me say this, because I'm from Detroit and I know that Motown trained their artists like no other.
Yeah, so they have media training, everything.
The lady who did it then was Maxine Powell. Maxine Powell trained them in etiquette and show presence and even how to get in and out the car. She did all of that. And so all of them, even now, have a stage presence that's bar none. Smokey Robinson, I made a mistake and went to see Smokey Robinson and really thought it wasn't going to be good. Oh my God. I was standing, I said, oh my God, I'm a groupie now. I felt like a groupie afterwards. It was so good because they have such great stage presence. You can't look
Smokey in the eyes. You can't look Smokey in the eyes.
Oh no, it's like a cat. It's like
Smokey
a cat.
Out here gyrating his hips.
At 80. Yes, he is.
You know out here
everybody
throwing
stop.
That thing.
Hey, y'all, it's Roddy Bray. Tune in to Roddy Bray Live. We talk about the concerts that we love All right, let's go to the top of the hour. We're going to take a little break. We come back. More show. Drama is insane, man. You silly, man.
He is gyrating now.
He's doing that thing out there now.
He's doing it.
Please stop.
But it works different.
Get ready for America's #1 funny man. What? Hey. Make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, from LA to New York, Chicago to Mississippi, let's give it up for America's #1 funny man, Rodney.
What's up, party people? It's your boy Rodney Perry. You're tuning in to Rodney Perry Live. Wow, what a first hour. Dr. Sabrina, clinical psychiatrist, came in. Clinical therapist, I believe? Therapist, yes. Came in, rocked the show all the first hour, gave us some great insight. One act drama, took it to the motherland, as she does. A great show. But it's time for the morning quickie. Charelle E. Thomas is in the building. Charelle, unable to make it last week. We were so glad to have you back. You know, you don't realize how much you miss a person they gone. Charelle E. Thomas, what's up?
Hi, I missed you guys too. What did I do last week?
Something fly. You did something fly.
Yeah, I had an appointment, so I couldn't make it, but I did.
That's what they call it nowadays, an appointment?
Yep. You silly, Rodney.
Good for you. All right. Let's join us by our friend, Dr. Sabrina, clinical therapist. She done went and got the dog. This little cute ass dog is not gonna be tolerated. I don't like it one bit.
Her name's Sugar. The Sugar.
She look like a sugar, a little lump of sugar. And of course, one act drama herself. Yeah.
Hey, Charelle.
It's
Hi,
always
Charelle.
a pleasure. A couple of things before we get going. I don't know why I want to play this, but here goes. There's so much wrong here.
Who is Grape? Why does it look like Grape 8 fighting somebody?
Don't do that. Don't do that. But she was definitely what's the little girls, the little cartoon girls with the outfits?
Powerpuff Girl.
Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, that's how she was supposed to be dressed.
I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I saw this on social media and I was like, yo, I need to play this. Girls don't fight, please. You know. Well, who said well?
Every now and again, somebody need to be down.
That's the Detroit in you. Hold on, let's see.
It is. I am a Detroit. I am a Detroiter.
That looks like one of the grown sisters.
Who's winning?
Nobody. They
Nobody.
both terrible at it.
I think
I
their
don't know.
bodies bumping, so they couldn't really extend.
Get to each
Yeah,
extend.
their bodies was hitting each other first.
Wow, how about that? All right, get out of there.
You know how they do in those like bubble things, like you.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
It looks
That's
like
what
it
they're
look like.
wrestlers.
Rodney Perry is not only an actor, a comedian, he's also a producer and a host. I hosted this show. It's called Creative Hustle. It's sketch comedy, it's stand-up comedy, and live music. Check out this trailer. See what y'all like.
All right, let's get through these puss-ass jokes and get out of here. All right?
See, a creative's job is to be fearless and to express their truth through their art form. We are not responsible for your damn feelings. It's okay for people to not agree with someone's artistry, and it's okay to be offended. At the end of the day, none of that shit's going to kill you. I promise.
Chicago needs some interest. We need to get Trevor back. Damn, I feel like I'm at the Apollo. This shit crazy.
Creative Hustle coming to a streaming platform near you.
Oh, nice.
It's going to go live, I believe, on Friday tomorrow. So
nice.
Jay Davis will be coming on the show tomorrow to talk about Creative Hustle. And I'm gonna tell him, he need to cut this trailer to have more Rodney Perry in it. That's for sure.
You just had one little almost.
I don't know. I'm the absolutely most famous person on the motherfucker, man.
And and to be real honest, I missed it. The Rodney Perry part. It was so short.
You don't need to see that. You don't need to see that.
It was when the girl went down on her knees.
Oh, I saw that part. I just was seeing her, so I didn't know that was you.
Anyway,
so I'm sorry. Okay.
Anyway, party people, thank you for tuning in. Coming down the home stretch, it's time for the morning quickie with Charelle E. Thomas. Charelle, what are we talking about today?
So we have an option. We have a choice.
Okay.
Since Dr. Sabrina is here, we can go down the mental health route and talk about how.
Don't nobody care about that. We want some nastiness.
Yeah, but I think
it's still nastiness.
Of like why people do the kinky things that they do and what part when they need to seek help. Because some of y'all out here accepting some of these things that people are requesting and don't even recognize that it's a sign of mental health. There's something mentally.
Yes.
So that, or either we can do this or that.
I want to talk about why people let people pee on them. Mental health.
or even in the second part, why they let people eat,
Yeah, that
eat their booty.
No,
not just eat the booty. What comes out the booty?
No, who doing that?
Yeah,
that's
all right. What's the other option, Charelle? What's the other option?
So we're talking about the mental health components of sex, or either this or that.
We could do this or that.
Let's do both. Let's do both. Let's start with the mental health and then finish off with this or that.
Yeah, let's start with the nasty stuff, like how they talked about peeing on one another. What is that? Golden shower.
Okay,
it's a golden shower.
Charelle.
Yes.
Have you ever been peed on?
No, I have not. I teach my clients how to make male squirt. And when a male squirt, like that's what it's like peeing, but I've never personally indulged in it, no.
Well, so first of all, a male squirt.
It's different than coming.
Yeah, it's after they ejaculate.
Yeah.
If you keep going, eventually.
I'm not gonna keep going. I don't want to feel that good. And then you got to go in my ass to make that happen. I don't want to be a part of it.
No. You keep going on.
Hold on. So y'all don't know this. Charelle have all these little hand gestures she do. So what you got to do, Charelle? What you got to do?
You got to keep going. Like keep going on the D.
Keep going on the D.
A man ejaculates. You keep going trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And he has another ejaculation.
It's like a water hose.
It's like a water hose.
I don't want to be a part of that. That's what's wrong with Matt Barnes now.
It's a mess too.
And it's messy.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, everywhere.
Doc, you know about this?
Of course I know it. Let me say this. I used to have a show called Sizzle and Talk with Dr. Sabrina that came on from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. and we talked about sex. That's what we did. So I was considered the Black Dr. Ruth.
I really feel like I know a lot about sex. I don't know about this.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't like people to after I ejaculate, I'm really ready to get up out of there.
I'm ready to go sleep. That's normal. But there are people that want to push the envelope. They want.
Has any regular woman experienced this? Because y'all are all obviously on another level.
Well,
Candy Kids TV, Fresh Tarot, Mama Miss. Has everybody one act drama? Have you went beyond?
Most men, I have tried, not because I didn't know about that, but I have tried to keep going on some.
And they will knock you in your head.
They be like, no, I tried to go beyond that point.
Yeah.
Let me say this.
Okay, go ahead.
One thing that I've noticed, the majority of men who indulge in it are.
That makes
White.
sense. Sounds
The
about
wonderful
white.
people. They the wonderful people. I call them
sounds
the
about
wonderful
white.
people. Yep.
Wow.
Wonderful people.
All right, give me something else. Goodness gracious. That's got me self-conscious right now.
Look, there's certain things like when we talk about like mental illness and sex, right?
This is
The
good.
main culprit is like, well, I'm not gonna say just the main culprit, but signs that there's something going on mentally behind. She said it's a lot. I made a dude in high school do it that he messed up the whole bathroom floor. Exactly. So she did it. I wonder if he was.
Wow.
Yeah. But behind it, like there's this, you got hypersexuality, depression, eating disorders, like all of these different components trickle over into the bedroom. It don't just stop there. So then when you deal with things like wanting to be peed on, like I had like, who was that? I don't know if I talked about it on here, but she liked for her partner to ejaculate on the food and then go eat it after sex. Yeah.
That's high protein though.
Whatever. That on food though, food that's been sitting there.
Well, look.
That's nasty.
Hold on. Charelle,
it's almost like, let me say this. It's almost like the people who hoard and they have all this nasty food and then they go back and eat it, and you know that there's something wrong when you do that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hold on. As who you are, Charelle Thomas, Dr. Sabrina, don't you have to be kind of open to all these things?
No. Just because I'm knowledgeable about it don't mean that that's how I get down.
Some things are perversion.
Exactly. That's the key.
Perversion.
It's the perversion. Like when you get to the point where it's obsessive or compulsive, like this one guy, we were talking or whatever, and like he was obsessed with feet. So his thing was he wanted to take my shoes off at the restaurant and massage my feet at the table. No, because you get off on that. While it may not seem like this disgusting thing to do, he was unable to control himself. And that's the key. That's when it turns into perversion. Like it might be somebody who got a fetish. Rodney, I set up a thirst trap last night. No, I'm not saying you got a fetish. I'm just calling you out. I set up a thirst trap last night because I don't know if you guys heard about Lotto selling her panties, right? So I was like, this is a perfect, segue into the next workshop that I'm doing, like owning your power. She believed that she could sell her panties. So I posted, I got fresh panties, fresh used panties for sale, right? Thirst trap.
Ooh, I saw the dollar amounts on your live this morning. They was offering to pay her.
Yeah.
I saw 100. I saw 50. I didn't see less than 50.
I'll be slanging them draws. Let me tell you something. I have 100 pair of draws for sale.
So I have a friend that's married and she sells her panties. Her husband is okay with it. And she has a particular man that asked her to go to the gym and work out in them for a week. And then she sends them to him and he pays her $500 for those week-long gym panties. So she'll put them on, go to the gym, take them off, and sit them out. Then the next day, put them on, go to the gym, take them off, and just sit them out.
Yeah.
Coco Fresh said she had a dude that would ask her to bite his penis.
Wow.
And I was like, no, dog, why?
Wow.
There's some people who like pain.
Yeah.
Some people like pain. So some people like to be choked. Some people like to be choked almost to the point that they lose consciousness.
Yeah.
There's
That's
all
erotic
of that.
asphyxia, right?
Yes.
And if you choke yourself, it's autoerotic asphyxia. And we've seen several people die of that.
How can you choke yourself?
You can set up a thing just like people
they hang up,
themselves.
They hang themselves, choke themselves, and masturbate.
Oh yeah, it was a guy that went.
What to do? Kung Fu. The Kung Fu man got found, and it's a horrible way for them to find, because they're gonna find your ass naked with that rope around your neck, with semen everywhere.
Ew. Like that just boggled my mind. So with that, like there's certain things that people learn along the way in their development, especially, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Freud, how you say his name? Freudian.
Sigmund Freud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like his developmental stages say if you stay in a stage too long, that when you get older, these are the things that you're going to crave for. So that's one part of it. And then what you guys were talking about earlier is being exposed to that as a child. you know, while you're going through these stages,
developmental stages.
Yeah, then you get attached to it. So those are some basic fundamentals to look out for.
And then the other thing is that when people have no bonding, when they haven't bonded, then they can treat people like they're not people. So in their sexual experiences, they'll do things that are so bizarre because they have not bonded with any person. So they don't treat them. They don't have that humanity in them.
Charelle and Doc, Coco Fresh says sex is not supposed to hurt. Is that true?
No. Sex is earlier when I talked about what works for you is what works for you. So I can't take my values and stuff them down your throat. I can't do it.
Literally.
If you stuff it down the wrong throat, you're gonna damn choke to death.
So there are people. So I always say this: if you're a person who likes to be hit, and then you're a person that likes to hit, and y'all find each other, knock yourself out.
See, I don't want to be hit now. Nah,
but I'm just saying.
I don't want to be hit. I don't want to be choked, and I don't want to be handcuffed. My wife been trying to handcuff me for 25 years.
See,
I'm not. No.
Your inability to be handcuffed has to do with two things: trust or either previous trauma, like being a black man. Like
I'm a black man in America. I'm not gonna be handcuffed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
exactly.
Trauma. I don't like putting my hands behind my head. That does something, and I don't like when people take something and like point it to my head. That
like what?
Like a thermometer. Remember when
like
they first wanted to test you? I don't like.
Yeah, people didn't like that.
I grew up on the west side of Chicago. Like, no,
you know
that's a trigger. That's a trigger for you.
That's a trigger. And everybody needs to know their triggers.
Yeah,
because I don't like for men to pinch my nipples. And because I'm a big-breasted girl, that's what guys want to do. They want to do that. I hate it. It's a trigger for me.
Is that one nipple or both?
Either. Don't do either. I don't like it.
Either.
Yeah. I've heard women say, "Don't bite my nipples either." Like, don't.
Just don't bother them. Act like they're not there.
Fellas, you can't be. Fellas out there, you can't be biting the clitoris. There's nobody like that.
Yeah.
No,
never.
But just like there are men who like their penis handled rough, there are women who like their clitoris handled rough.
Yeah.
I motherfucker. Remember, you used to play football on the desk with the little
with the paper,
the thumper.
I've been and kicked you in your forehead, right? But you know what?
What's next, Charelle?
You talked about like with the handling of the nipples. I did a post the other day, and it was talking about like using fingers or whatever. A lot of women are like, no, don't do it, because a lot of men don't know how to do it. Once the nipples become erect and hard, like you can apply more pressure without it being painful and without sending them into like a trauma state. Same thing with fingers. Like a lot of women say no to the fingers, but that's because men don't know how to do it appropriately. You going down there with dirty nails, with ragged fingers, like, yeah, of course it's gonna make you scream. And then the motion that you use, you gotta know what you're doing, or else you are gonna scrape, you are gonna hurt. So I just wanted to speak on that.
So yes. Okay, well, educate the guys out there. What should they be doing?
But this is the
go
thing.
ahead.
Oh no, I was just fixing my no. Just don't put your fingers nowhere near me in my vagina. Leave my pH balance alone with them crusty phalanges attached to your body. I don't want nan part of them. Use your fingers for something else in the bedroom. Keep them outside of me. Everywhere outside is safe. Don't put
some people like fingers, right, Charelle?
Yes. Don't give me no head, and you're not using your hand. Like I need both.
Yeah, you need both.
You want a double. You want the combo.
Yeah, I do.
So do you also want to thumb your booty and the same? Well, this is too. That's too much.
What'd you say?
I'm taking that back.
Take it back.
That was.
But let me say this: when I talked earlier about the 4 C's and I talked about communication, that's a big part of communication. So if I'm involved with someone sexually, I need to be able to communicate what I like, how I like it, all of that. And a lot of people don't.
No,
they don't talk about what they like.
Man, take your finger out my booty, dog.
I don't like that. Or do more of that. You need to communicate what you like.
So I got a question, because I do this. Do you think it is I'm this person. I'm 40. We not finna play around. In my 20s, I was humping to be humping. I'm humping with intent now. I'm gonna get what I need. So I'm not finna play with you. So out the gate, I am saying to you, I don't like this. Cause I don't want you to fail. I want you to win. Cause when you win,
Yes.
I don't. In my 20s, it'll be like, we'll figure it out. No, baby, I'm finna tell you what we need to do right now. Is that normal, or am I doing the most?
No, that's normal.
I want to have a good experience. Like
that's grown people.
Playing.
Yeah, that's grown people. That's a part of that communication and a part of the agreement. So how do you have it if you don't talk about it?
Yeah,
I think approach goes a long way though.
Oh, and I ain't gonna be rude, but you know, you can be sexy talking, and you be like, what I like. So what you gonna do? Like that.
Coco Fresh says, my man and I are old school. We hunch with our clothes on before sex. Nice, safe hunching.
That's called pre-sex.
We call that juicing. Did y'all call that juicing?
Are people still hunching out there in them streets?
Yes.
I didn't know it was called hunching. I thought it was juicing.
Juice. Everybody got a different name. Everybody got a different name.
I've never heard nothing called juicing except for juicing.
And in Chicago, you from Chicago. Like, that's all we used to say. Come juice me. That's how I got in trouble.
I've never heard that phrase in my life.
Me either.
Juicing.
Dr. Sabrina, have you ever been juiced?
Oh, yes. I'm down with juicing. Because especially as a mature woman and you start dating someone, you want to know what you're working with. And I don't want to have to pull it out to know what I'm working with if I'm juiced
beforehand.
How come?
It's out. It's time to use it.
If it's out, I got to do something with it. But if it ain't out yet, and I might not
Stop playing, ladies. Y'all play too much.
I might not want it to come out. No, you leave that right there, sir. You leave that right there.
Okay. Now I gotta ask Sabrina. I'm not sure, Drama, if we talked about this before. Have y'all ever encountered a micro peen, 3 inches or below?
Yes.
Listen to me.
Yes.
Oh,
this man hyped me for 4 months. He was gonna do this and he was gonna do that, and I was gonna feel this. And when he got his hands on me, so he booked the flight. I made time. I got a babysitter. This man flew himself to do nothing with nothing, and then it curved. Why is it curving? Where is it going? What is this hook for? Because you can't even penetrate. I was so mad, and he was supposed to stay with me.
Oh, wait.
And
Drama, he was fully erect?
Yes. And I was like, well,
so
maybe
if fully erect 3, fully erect 3, or fully erect 5, 7, 6, 7?
No, fully erect 3 or below.
Head, Uncle Rodney.
You tried to?
I tried. I thought maybe I can help. Like, I thought maybe I ain't got him on enough. Let me turn him on a little bit more. And
so you thought he had more penis somewhere behind that?
I realized that was it. I literally, I didn't even let him finish. I was like, hey, I'm sleepy. And then I turned and said, what you about to do? He thought he was staying with me. I thought he was staying with me. You can't stay here with that. I said, what you about to do? He was like, what you mean? I said, where you need me to take you?
Wow. And
he was like, I thought I was.
Did he have no other skills?
Now, what he did say, the man said he was going to eat me alive, and that he did. But it was so little, I don't even want you to finish me off. You must go. Depart this place.
Depart from me.
I think rightfully so, because that's deception.
Wait. Don't go first. She thinks she know that dude. Oh God.
I've never in my life. I felt nothing. Like, it was so weird. It was weird. It was a weird experience.
I think that it's their responsibility to disclose that beforehand. You can't do that. Like, that's deception. You can't do that. I ain't gonna say what I think.
Because you know you got that. Well, you know you don't have it.
Hey, now and I'm gonna have this girl on next week. She got a toy that you put the small penis in, and it gives it 2.5 inches.
You can get
all he had after that was the 2.5.
He will put this thing in there. It's a cock ring. The other ring go around your balls, and it gives you, some girth, some length, and some girth. Yep. Would you have been up for that?
No, I was disgusted by that point because you have flown in. Like it was, we for 4 months had planned this.
So you liked him at that point, like, because y'all been talking.
No, we had only planned to have sex, nothing else. There was not.
You can't talk to somebody for fucking 4 months and not like him a little bit.
I liked him as a person. Like, we cool now. I just would never again. Like, and I told him once he got back to his destination, I said I was very upset because what you said was not what you had, and I kept asking. My friend was like asking for pictures, and I'm not a picture asker, but I was like, I had never planned something like that either, though. I had never set out to do that with a person. I knew he wasn't like a stranger. We had mutual friends, and he was very attractive. He is very attractive, and it was just I was so upset because I'm like, I said, you knew that before you got here, like.
So at some point during the conversation, do you go, minimum, I need this?
What you mean?
Like, do you get, I mean, your minimum now. So further going forward.
Oh, you mean going forward? Okay.
Do you tell a guy like, look, nigga, if your ass fully erect is less than 3 inches, you might want to stay home?
I ask.
That's a question.
Would they lie? Would they lie?
And if they lie, then that's a problem.
Only thing that I ask about is making sure that it's not a micro thing. And there's also other things that us as women can pay attention to, like context clues. I was talking to this one guy, and he was like, he was out at the bar. Me and him had been vibing or whatever, and he was like, I sent him a picture or something, a regular picture, and he was like, "Oh, you got me so hard." And I was like, "Don't let nobody see my print." And he was like, "What print?" He didn't even know what a print was.
Because he don't have
context.
He don't have. So let me say this, and it's interesting because we talk about the micro, but then I don't want somebody that's so big that it feels like I'm having a baby every time I see you. So
look at John. Look at John.
I don't like them.
Is there a high end? Is there?
Yes,
is there
for me, there's a high end for me. It just is because
what is that? What is that? Is that 13? Is it 17?
Oh, 17. I don't
want nothing over 7.
I don't want nothing over 10. 10, I think I can do 10. But this is the thing. The penises come as showers and growers. So a shower is a man who just coming out the gate, he big.
Yeah.
Even before he get erect, it might be hitting in the middle of his thigh before he that's too much. That's just too much. And then you have people who start small, but when they grow, oh my, oh me, oh my. So you have to, those are conversations that I want to have. Are you a shower or a grower? So a person who's a shower would definitely know about a print because he printing all day, even when he's not even erect.
Exactly. And let me tell y'all, the guy did come back and confirm that he did have a micro penis.
Wow. Okay, ladies, how about this? Y'all gonna bash the micro penis?
No, we're not.
What about the micro vagina? It's got to exist.
So it is.
Or even a big vagina. It's got to exist.
Like you don't feel
it. And small penises exist, then small vaginas and big vaginas exist.
Yeah. There are
people. Yep, there are people. There are men who have said that they could never enter her.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't stretching. There was he could not enter her. That's an issue. And then there's men that feel like once he's entered, he's swatching around because it's, and so, there's surgeries that people are having now. There's surgeries to tighten the vagina.
What they do, stuff a pillow in there?
No, they tighten it and they stitch it up and heal. So it's tightened.
But that lasts what? That lasts all of 3 strokes.
But also, men need to be aware that sometimes, because the last guy I dated that I had double back with for Thanksgiving, they can turn you on so much that they slosh around in there, and it
It's
ain't
so
that
wet.
you big, because it was one encounter that we had. He was like, "What is happening?" I was that aroused that he couldn't get his footing. I'm just put it like that.
So another thing with that too is like hormones play a part in a woman's elasticity, and there's different times of the month
And I was ovulating.
she's tighter than others.
Other
Like
times,
she's
yeah.
looser than others. So it's like paying attention to those things. It's so
But it's also compatibility, am I right?
Huh?
It's compatibility. Like,
Yeah.
like there's a perfect person out there for you,
Yeah.
big or small.
But I also, so what I teach, men can grow their penis naturally, women can tighten their vagina naturally. Even with a tight vagina, typically it's a mental condition attached to that.
I hit mine with a hammer.
What?
I had the tip of mine with a hammer.
There's ways to loosen it naturally as well. You a mess, Rodney.
I am.
But let me say this, one of the things that's also such a huge issue, especially within the Black community, is things that we've learned about sex from church. I always say church has messed it up for everybody.
Yeah.
That it's such a sin for you to be. It's better to burn than no.
Yeah.
Sex God created.
Yep.
You know what burns? Being turned on and can't get none. That's my version of hell. That's what burns.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Roddy Perry. You're tuning in to Roddy Perry Live, an arousing conversation. Charelle Thomas always delivers, even when she's fully dressed. Dr. Sabrina's in the building. One Act Drama's in the building. As a man, to sit here and have watch y'all have this frank conversation is pretty interesting, you know. And I think we need to have more of these, you know, frank conversations about sex, so people can kind of get to the bottom of what's what.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
I would like to say to Black mothers who are teaching their daughters about sex, stop attaching a stigma to it. You're gonna die. You're gonna get pregnant. Like, there's more that happens. I taught my daughter, when you do it, it might hurt a little bit, but when you get it, it's gonna be amazing. Like, I told her the truth. You are going to enjoy it a lot, especially if you got the right person. I didn't want to make her think it was this scary. Oh my God, don't do it. Now I taught her the mental components, like make sure mentally you're ready, make sure you're capable, make sure this person is someone you want to see yourself with long term. Like, make sure you have a conversation.
I mean, but do she need to be with him long term? I mean, the first guy.
Age, her mental capacity. I didn't want her at a young age thinking men are a toss away and my body is a giveaway. Because I didn't want to put that.
I love it. I
want her to know that when you find that person, make sure this is somebody you really like. Because that young, my mindset now is I'm capable of handling, like, oh, we're finna do this tonight, and then. But at 17, I wasn't mentally ready for that, so I didn't want to put that in her that this is just something you do just to get your rocks off. Now at 23, my daughter's a devout Jehovah's Witness, so it didn't matter what I said anyway. She just don't want to do it, which is fine. I agree with that too. Whatever, I let her know, whatever decision you make, I am okay with it. But just know, if you decide to cross this line, it's good over there. Mm-hmm. So make sure you're ready, because once you get it, you're gonna want to keep getting it, because it be good.
I don't know what Mama Miss. I don't know what Mama Miss talking about. But she said she saw a BJ that was way too small for her size.
Oh, she was a big girl with a little vagina.
Oh God.
But anyway, I teach the good parts of it. Don't just teach our children, because men teach their sons the good part. Teach your daughter the good part. Let her know it can be very special. It can be very, and I want my daughter, when she does have it, I want her to enjoy it. I don't want her to feel like I'm dirty. I don't want her to feel ashamed. I don't want her to, because I felt those things. Yes. And I regret that my mother wasn't open with me.
And most women have felt those things, and most women haven't talked about it, and their parents were not open to having frank, open discussions. So I was married, when I was married, my second husband is a pastor of a church. And so we were very purposeful and intentional about talking about sex, real discussions with our congregation, because you don't have that. And I'm like, it's no way that we're not going to talk about it, because we're trying to get it in as often as we can over in this house. So other people are too. And so we need
all
to
right,
talk
ladies,
about
it is officially over.
It's over.
It is over. An awesome show. I'll be reaching out to you, Doc, to see what day is best for you, but I would love for you to come on and do a weekly segment. Charelle Thomas, always a pleasure. We'll do this or that maybe next week. Drama, your face looks like it's been touched by the sunlight today.
It does.
Thank you for coming on. My name is Rodney Perry. This is Rodney Perry Live. One more show. Tomorrow's Friday. Coco Fresh will be in the building. You're trying to get red. You better come back.
Woo!
All right, guys. Great show. Great show. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
All the way out.